There are times when you want to sit down, open a bottle of wine and really enjoy it. And then there are times you just want a wine right here, right now. Today, we're going to look at that as we take a look at what I'm going to call fast food wines. Hello and welcome to the Grape Explorer, where we celebrate the world of wine. On this channel we do wine education, product reviews and lots of tastings, so if you're interested in wine, consider subscribing. Now, I've called these fast food wines because they're ready to go. I was in a shop earlier today and this was in the lunch section, which I kind of like, that you might be on lunch and you fancy a wine, but I more thought about this as you had a bad day at work, you've got a train journey home and you just want to have a drink now. And so what I've been able to get are a white wine and a red wine that are ready to go. You know, this one comes with its own little cup, and this one has got its own little foil cover that you peel off to drink. So I'm really looking forward to getting into these to see what they're like, to see if you have had a really bad day. Is this just the sort of thing that's going to give you that pick you up? So the first one here is Petit Voyage. It's a sparkling Pinot Grigio, a refreshing fizz made using Pinot Grigio grapes from Italy. Like I say, it comes with a handy little cup. Oh, which nicely sits on the top of the bottle, I like that. It looks like I'm about to take some tablets in a hospital, but I can assure you I'm about to drink wine. I'm also worried this is going to look like some sort of biological sample after I've poured it, but I'm sure it'll be fine as well. So this is the cup you get with it. This is the wine. It's a little bit of fizz as I open that. I'm hoping it's a little bit spritzy. Yeah, it's got a nice little spritz to it, nice little bit of fizz. So let's go through a tasting with this one. So the wine is pale lemon in colour. On the nose, it's quite neutral. It's what I would expect from a Pinot Grigio. Quite appley. Some lemon as well. I would say the aroma intensity is medium minus, not particularly strong on the aroma, but I have just taken it out of the fridge, and sometimes you actually do need to warm up the wines a little bit before those aromas start to come through. Really nice and spritzy though. I don't know how this wine has been made. I know I've talked about some of the cheaper versions before being carbonated rather than going through any official kind of tank method. It doesn't give any indication of that. But let's give it a taste. Oh. I was trying to say I've forgotten my spit bucket. Spit bucket. We'll do it again. On the palate, wine is very light bodied. There's acidity, sort of medium plus, very light bodied. Flavours coming through of apple and lemon actually. They're very delicate. And actually, if I was sat on a train after a day at work, this wouldn't go down too badly at all. Very easy to drink, very light and fruity. It's got a bit of a finish. I mean, the acidity is pretty good actually. I'm still sensing a little bit of watering in the mouth. It's got a bit of a finish. Alcohol for me is low. I don't think it's particularly alcoholic, which is probably good. You know, if you've had a bad day, it doesn't mean you have to get drunk. It just means you just need to, you know, take the edge off, wind down ever so slightly. Finish on this one, I'd say it's medium. It's not too bad, and you know, this was £3, this particular bottle. And Petit Voyage sparkling, I'd say is kind of off dry. I'm sensing some sweetness with it as well. And I actually think this is a pretty decent little bottle to have at the end of a day. You know, I call them fast food wines. I'm not suddenly going to start to pair it with burger and chips. But I do think if you're in a hurry or if you're on a journey somewhere, this is actually quite a nice way to wind down. Not bad at all. So moving on to the red, this is called Froglet. It's a GSM blend, and by that I mean it's Grenache, Syrah and Mourvedre. And this is a Vino de España, so it's a Spanish product that's been produced for the place that I bought it. it specifically says it's not suitable for pregnant women, which is a first. I've not seen that on a bottle before. Does that one say it? No, this one is suitable for vegans though. So I'm just going to very carefully take the peel off this one. I'm not going to be able to swirl this one, of course. I really don't want to get it on my tablecloth. You get a full glass. It's a 187 milliliter serving. So in a restaurant here in the UK, that's considered a standard kind of pour. A large glass would be 250 milliliters. So this is a kind of regular glass of wine over here. Like I say, I'm not going to be able to swirl it. It's a very full plastic glass. So aromas. Aromas coming through are quite sweet actually, quite sweet aromas, almost candied. Things like cherry and strawberry. It's really hard not, I can't get my nose in it, can I? Well, I can dip my nose in it, but that's not what I mean. Wine is dry. The wine has medium acidity. The tannins are low. It's medium minus bodied on this one. I'm just not sure that is a way to enjoy wine. It's not a cup of tea, not hot coffee or anything like that. So I'm having to sip it off the edge. Sometimes I'm having to lap it out of the glass. Flavours coming through are of those red fruits that I was talking about on the nose. So I am getting things like raspberry and strawberry on the palate, a little bit of cherry as well. Perhaps some red plum as well. The finish isn't particularly there for me. This particular glass was £2.50, which again I don't think is too much value. But for me, it's not as enjoyable as the Pinot Grigio style was. And I think this is the one that I would recommend and probably enjoy myself if I was on a train. Because it's got bubbles, you know, you can celebrate that you've had a crappy day at work. Whereas this one, I just think it's so full in the glass up to here, I just wouldn't want to be on the move with it. I'm just so worried I'd spill it. Yeah, it's a little flat, a little bit sour actually. Those flavours are quite bitter, but not in a particularly good way. Whereas I think this one's got a lot to offer if you were thinking of getting something on the go, fast food style. So there we go, Petit Voyage Sparkling Pinot Grigio definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Froglet, the GSM blend, probably gets a thumbs across, if that's such a thing. I would definitely recommend this to people, only because you get a better glass. You can actually kind of enjoy this, to get something away from it. This one I'm just so nervous that I'd be, you know, with a bib underneath. But there we go, fast food wines. So what about where you are? Anything like this available? Anything that you'd recommend? You had a bad day, what's your drink of choice? Let me know in the comments section below. I'm the Grape Explorer. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers.